and today I have a really fun topic for you. I'm going to talk about making children's picture books that you can sell, like self-publishing children's picture books, the print versions. See, this is a book that I made. It's called Our Summer Garden, and as you can see, the inside has like full color every single page all the way to the end. Yeah, that's the same page. So, it's full color. It's exactly like something you would get from a bookstore from a professional publisher. So, anyway, I'm gonna share my step-by-step process and how you can do it if that's something that you want to do. Because kids' books are fun, and if you have an idea for one, you should be able to do it. I'm going to show you how. These are the steps that I used. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, obviously, is you want to have your text written in your head. I'm not going to go over that because, obviously, if you're a writer and you're wanting to write a children's book, you don't need my help with that. So, or at least you don't need my help with the writing part. And then, after you've got that in your head, you need to make sure that you can get it printed in the dimensions that you want. Kids' books are usually, they're usually wider for little hands and stuff. So they have very different dimensions from adult paperbacks, obviously. So you're going to want to go wider, maybe a completely, I ended up doing like these spreads. I don't know if you could see, but like it's the same on each side, or the art kind of goes on both sides. So that's an option you can do. So check with whatever printer you're using. I use CreateSpace, and I had like, it's a square book, I think like 8.5 by 8.5 or something like that. And this worked out really well for me. So you wanna check, of course, and decide on your dimensions for your book. Then, obviously, once you're doing that, you can calculate what size art you will need to create. That'll be more math and ratios and stuff like that. And then, of course, now comes kind of the harder part, the art. You can either do the art yourself or pay somebody else to do it. And this is how I did mine. Since the books are spreads, the pages are spreads, here I'll show you again. Okay, that's not a good example. A lot of the art goes from one page to the other. Like in this case, it's a little asparagus. It goes from one page to the other, so it's just like one huge spread, and that's the style I did it in. So what I did was I went and got this huge giant, I'll show you. It's like this huge giant art pad from the craft store, and I just did the art like this, like in giant spreads like this, this watercolor and like collage stuff. So that's an option you can do if you want to paint, or it's up to you. You can just do something like this. You start like this and just page after page of, you measure it out. I think I had measured, I don't remember the exact dimensions, but I had measured out specific ratios to make sure this was going to be a good size for me. So I have all these art pieces, obviously, on this insanely big art pad. And then what I did next was I took them outside on a nice day and I photographed them with a high quality camera. You want to use natural light for that, not artificial light whenever possible, because natural light will give you the best color results. And so that's what I did. I went and I just kind of put them on the ground, put the art pad on the ground, and took pictures of each one. And then I didn't stop there. I took each photo that I took, brought it into Photoshop, and enhanced it, did different things with the colors, because the colors aren't going to come out looking exactly the way they did in your art on your book, because there's conversions from RGB to CMYK and all kinds of other little things that can tweak your colors. So you're gonna want to be able to modify them, make sure they're perfect. So I did that with Photoshop. Then I opened another program called InDesign, which is kind of a sister program to Adobe. They're both in Creative Suite or Creative Cloud. I think they call it Adobe Creative Cloud now. So I made an InDesign document that was the dimensions. The InDesign document was the same dimension as the book. That's where you go back to your very beginning and find out, okay, what was the dimension for the book I need, and then you put that into InDesign, and I laid out everything in InDesign. So you put in your art, and then you put in your type on top of that. So that might be a bit more technical than some of you are willing to go. So, I mean, there's tutorials all over online on how to use InDesign, or you can always hire somebody if you want. I happen to already know how to use InDesign, so I just did it myself. And then I made it into a PDF. There's a option in InDesign to turn it into a PDF, and then you're left with a book. You have a book. I did the cover was had to be a separate PDF because that's just how InDesign works. You upload the interior, or that's just how CreateSpace works. You upload the interior, and then you upload the cover. So I did the cover as a separate PDF. But yeah, this was done in InDesign and Photoshop. So yeah, and I actually had to go through a couple of rounds of proofing with this because it ended up being super darker than the original art. So I wanted to lighten it up, and it's a little hard to tell like on your computer because your computer is backlit, so it'll look like bright colors there when it might not necessarily look like bright colors when you actually get it printed. So, but anyway, yeah, I have this good little book now, which is kind of a fun project I wanted to do. It's about two kids who grow a garden of vegetables and stuff. Just cute little thing, and it's gonna be I'm getting one as a present for somebody that I know. So it's, you know, for preschoolers or something. It's for little kids you can read to. So, and it's paperback, but it's pretty sturdy. It feels pretty sturdy to me. I haven't found a good option for getting hardbacks printed, like board books or anything like that. I haven't really found a good option, a good cheap option. If you know of something that is a cheap option, feel free to share it in the comments because I would love to find out about it. But I use CreateSpace because I'm able to sell things through Amazon. So now this book is, you know, I can sell it through Amazon. And print it through print on demand. Anybody could buy it if they wanted to for their kids. So that's a really good option for you if that's what you want to do, if you want to write kids books and sell them. So hopefully this video didn't completely scare you off for children's books, because it was really actually a fun process. You know, you're making this art and you're coming up with this little kid book. You know, it rhymes and everything. It was fun. It's a fun, lighthearted little project, and I guess maybe the hardest parts were, you know, editing the photos or something. But I mean, it wasn't very hard. It was a pretty fun project, and if you have been thinking about doing a kids book, of a color kids picture book, I think you want to go for it because it can be done. You know, you can self-publish a book that looks like it came out of a bookstore, a full-color kids book. So it can be done. What a wonderful modern world we live in. All right, so if you have any questions, post them in the comments, and if you like this video, subscribe, because that's what I do. I post videos like this. All right, so this is Stephanie Void signing off.